Bosses in Vermintide, not to be confused with lords, are seemingly formidable opponents that serve as large obstacles in games and can cause the demise of both new and experienced players alike. Although, what if I were to tell you that fighting these bosses by yourself is easier than you'd think? In this video, I'm going to cover how to solo every boss in Vermintide, starting from the easiest and moving up to the most difficult. Something to keep in mind, however, is that these strategies will take some practice to master, as they involve having the proper muscle memory to execute them. Don't be discouraged if you at first cannot pull them off, but keep trying and eventually you will be able to. Starting us off at the easiest boss is the Rat Ogre. The Ogre is the easiest boss by far to solo, as you can reliably dodge dance him and lock him into a long chain of overhead attacks, effectively locking him into place. This is done by walking directly up to the Rat Ogre and getting very close to him, which will bait him into an overhead attack. Dodging backwards right before his attack will allow you to fully dodge his overhead and give you enough time to walk back up into his face and repeat this process. The higher the dodge distance you have, the closer you can get to the Rat Ogre. Weapons with lower dodge range will not allow you to walk up close to the Rat Ogre, and you will instead have to find the sweet spot, which allows you to still pull this maneuver off, but not give the Rat Ogre enough time to go into a different attack pattern. Shields are a good weapon to use to learn this sweet spot, as if you make a mistake, you can simply block the overhead attack and try again. Be aware, however, that Rat Ogres have a small chance to suddenly do a running sweep animation during your dodge dances, even if you execute them perfectly. Dodging backwards will still cause you to get hit, so you need to be wary of this attack and either block it or side dodge it. Next, we have the Stormfiend. The Fiend is also very easy to solo due to him only having two attacks, the Fire Spray and the Melee Sweep. The strategy for fighting fiends differ depending on if you have high dodge or low dodge characters, but still remain pretty similar. For high dodge characters, dodge proactively in the opposite direction that the fiend is turning whenever the fiend does turn. This not only keeps the fiend spinning in multiple directions and causing him to miss his fire attacks and a good amount of his melee strikes, but it also consistently keeps you in range of the Packmaster on his back and allows you to keep up consistent damage on the fiend's weakest point. Using this strategy, you do need to be wary of the lingering fire on the ground, as that can interrupt your dodges and open you up to attacks, as well as the fact that some of his melee strikes will still hit you, so make sure to block them if they do. On lower dodge characters, you instead want to dodge reactively, sidestepping his fire attacks and either blocking or backdodging his melee strikes while aiming for his head. The Troll is also quite easy to solo due to his slow attack speed and slow movement speed, but his dangers lie in his survivability and his puke. Usually, you want to avoid fighting a troll solo unless it's already close to dead, since the amount of time it takes to kill one allows for hordes and loads of specials to spawn. This is fortunately made easy by its slow movement speed, so drinking a speed potion or forcing it through drop or climb animations easily allows you to gain distance on it. If you do need to fight it solo, there are a few things to keep in mind. Avoiding the troll's puke is your number one priority, as getting puked on leaves you blind, immobile, and with very little stamina. In the middle of a horde with specials, this is a death sentence, so you should avoid this at all costs. The troll's attacks with its weapons should also be dodged instead of blocked whenever possible, as you will take a bit of damage through your block, although blocking with a shield will fully absorb this damage. The troll's attacks are heavily telegraphed, so this fight is simply learning the troll's attack windups and acting accordingly. One other thing to note is the troll sometimes animation cancels its own attacks and can attack multiple times in only 1 or 2 seconds, most often when it is down on its knees, so be sure to watch out for that. Second to last, we have one of the more feared bosses, the Chaos Spawn. The Chaos Spawn's extreme aggressiveness and its ability to heal by chomping on players makes it one of the more difficult bosses to fight. But there is indeed a strategy to solo the spawn as well. Similar to the Rat Ogre, the Chaos Spawn can also be dodge danced by standing directly in its face and dodging backwards before attacking. The spawn has 3 attacks that can be dodge danced: his overhead, his tentacle swipe, and his grab. The spawn's overhead attack is very fast and has a fast cooldown, making it difficult to repeatedly dodge dance the attack and lock him down in a single place. The grab attack has a decent range and should either be interrupted by an ultimate or dodged to the side opposite of the spawn's tentacle, or backwards if you are already partially out of the spawn's grabbing range. If you are playing with a low dodge character with no ultimate that can stagger or allow you to move out of his grab range, it's best to not attempt to dodge dance the spawn and instead get attacks in whenever possible while attacking at the max range of the weapon to stay out of the reach of the spawn's grab. Lastly, we have the bane of everyone's existence, the Minotaur. Excluding his charge, the Minotaur has 3 attacks he can do: a singular axe swipe, a horn attack, and his rapid attack, which consists of an axe swipe, 2 axe attacks back to back, and an overhead strike. The trick to fighting the Minotaur is to get in attacks in the slight openings between his attacks, which are after the rapid 2 axe hits, the overhead, and after his single axe swipe and his horn attacks. And you can also side dodge his overhead attack and allow you to get in an extra attack there. On higher ping games, it is not advisable to go for a hit between his double attack and his overhead, as the timing between those 2 attacks are so small that you won't be able to block in time except on very low ping games or when you're playing as host. There are also 2 different ways to kite the Minotaur. The best way is by standing in line with the Minotaur facing its direction and dodging backwards, moving slightly forwards to get in an attack when you can, only dodging to the side when your back hits a dead end. This way you will avoid getting hit by the horn and axe swipe attacks, preventing your block from being broken and quickly going down to the Minotaur. The other way to fight the Mino should only be used when you are by yourself and in a small enclosed space where there is no room to dodge backwards for long periods of time. By hugging the Mino and dodging to the sides, you can avoid most of the Mino's attacks and get in free attacks yourself. However, you must be careful as some of its attacks will still hit you and it's not always clear which ones will, so you must be quick to block as well as dodge. This should also never be done with other people alive, as with the Mino consistently spinning around, you will just get your team hit and they'll be unable to help you. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this guide. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Leave suggestions for what other videos I should make down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace!